mindset really matters. We're gonna talk today about how you view your business, yourself, and your goals. Let's hope we don't have too many mindset mishaps along the way. How you view your job is everything. It helps determine the focus and the direction of your business. And yes, it is a business. You are a small business owner. Congratulations, you've done it. And you have this amazing adventure ahead of you. But you have to look at it as a job, as a business. If you expect to be successful, if you expect to make real money, those come from jobs, not from hobbies. Yes, Book Lady life can be amazing. There's so many fun things, but if you really want to go to the next level with your business, it needs to be a business. Mindset mishap. I mean, being a book lady is so fun. Like, I just have this extra hobby, and like, I mean, if I get some free books, that's fun, but like, I can be successful. This is just like, I mean, it's direct sales, y'all. This is like a pyramid scheme, but I mean, it's really fun. Okay, so thinking through that aspects of what it is to be a business owner, you have a place of employment, you have coworkers, and you have clients or customers. So if we kind of break down each one of those, how you approach those and your mindset towards each one of those drastically affects your success. Let's start with your workplace. So if you're working your business on Facebook, Facebook is your workplace. If you're working in schools and libraries, that's your place of employment. Or maybe it's just in your community, within vendor events and booths, or working in people's homes with home parties. You need to be professional in all that you do. You represent our company, and the mindset you bring into your workplace is how people will receive you, and it will determine the quality of work that you create and put forth. So thinking of your workplace as an actual workplace. You aren't just a stay-at-home mom in your pajamas typing on your computer. You're a boss lady who's going out into the community, who's going out into our nation and making a difference. So switching that mindset of where it is that you're working and what it is that you are doing will drastically impact your business. I can't do anything. I'm just a stay-at-home mom. Like, I just joined because I was at a Facebook party while my husband was watching football, and I spent a lot of money, so I thought maybe I should get a discount. That's why I'm a book lady. We're gonna talk through a couple of ways to do this, but first of all is viewing your job as a job. It is not a hobby. It is not something you do on the side. If you really want this to be successful, view it as that. Treat it as though you are going to work. Maybe that means that you have set work hours. So you have a set workplace and you have a set work schedule. I work from home, I have 2 little kiddos running around, and so sometimes that looks different every day, but I definitely have times. I get up at 6 a.m. and so from 6 to 8, everybody in the house knows that is mommy's time. And so I have nap time. I work 2 specific nights a week that are like my evening work time. And so talk with your family and see what works for your work time. You wouldn't be expected to do a job out in the workplace without actual office hours. So create that time, whether it looks different every week, whether you have to sit down on Monday nights and decide what this week's work schedule looks like, but it is a job, and so you have to work it like a job. Mindset mishap. Okay, so Facebook is like my favorite place ever to hang out. I mean, good gracious, I sit and drink my Diet Coke and I will scroll all day long. But these people, they don't want to hear about my business. I don't want to be all salesy. I mean, good gracious, they're just my friends. I don't want to poach them for anything. I'm not going to post anything on Facebook because I do not want to be seen as that girl. Let's talk a little bit about the workplace of Facebook. So I know a lot of us work with schools and libraries or vendor events and booths. That's fantastic, but let's talk about Facebook right now, because Facebook can be a messy workplace because a lot of times we use it for fun and it's our, recreation. Late at night, you're scrolling and just being silly. But right now, as a book lady, if you work Facebook parties, Facebook is your place of work. When I changed my mindset of how I viewed Facebook and how I wanted to use it, things in my business drastically started to change. I saw all of my friends, all of my hostesses, all of my customers, those are potential team members, those are potential VIP shoppers, those are an entire pool of future clients. And so I started changing the way I communicated and presented myself on social media, the way I interacted in messaging. So it changed from just something that was super fun, that Facebook, I ran my business a little bit on Facebook, it was a place for parties, as to being like, this is where I work. I would not talk to coworkers in a certain way, so I'm not going to talk to my Facebook people in a certain way. Or if I wouldn't say this in the office, or if I wouldn't have intentionality in my relationships at work. I used to be a teacher, and so how I approached my classroom and how I viewed my students, that became my mindset to how I viewed Facebook. as my workplace. And so whenever I'm scrolling and my husband's like, what are you doing? My answer is, I'm working. And he's like, you're just on Facebook. And I'm like, I'm getting you a free trip for next summer. Or I'm paying for my daughter's college. And so the way I look at Facebook, I'm very intentional with who I comment on, that I have my hostesses and my customers, and I create dialogues back and forth. These are people that I want relationships with, not just for like selfish reasons of I want money, 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 but these are people that I care about. And so I want to spend the time investing where that investment is worthwhile. Mindset mishap. I mean, like, I'm not a team leader yet. I mean, I've never been on the leaderboards. Like, I didn't get to walk across the stage at convention. So I must not be very good at this. Like, I mean, I really like the books, but I don't know. I don't think I'm like a boss or anything. Okay, next, let's talk about how you view yourself. The mindset and how you see yourself as a book lady is huge and powerful. If you think that you're just like, oh, you're just like, okay, I mean, I kind of like these books. Your customers, your hostesses, your teammates, they're gonna look at that and they're not gonna put the level of respect and the level of, whoa, she's awesome at this. So sometimes you have to fake it until you make it. Sometimes you just have to walk into a room and pretend like you own it. So a personal story in this is when I first became a book lady, I like worked from the couch like a lot of us do. I had my laptop and I would just sit there when my husband's watching Netflix or ESPN, and I would like work. And like about a month in, I was like, I really need a space. Like, I need somewhere in my home that's like my domain as a book lady, because this is my job. And we didn't have like an extra room or anything. We had a guest room that we were in the process of moving and all this crazy. So we had a mattress on the floor. And so I told my husband, I was like, I'm taking over. And so my office became a mattress on the floor. And I went to Target the next day and I bought this like tiny little bookshelf that I put together by myself wrong. I put it together 3 times, all wrong. It fell apart. Side story. But I had this space that was mine. And so when I walked into my office, I like felt legit. I was like, this is me. I have an office. I have a new job. And it was like this defining moment for myself that I can do this because I believed in myself. I was not a team leader yet. I had made, I think, maybe $800 in the past month and a half. So not a ton, but seeing myself as someone who was gonna be successful, that I would need an office one day. I even bought like a whiteboard for my future team. At this point, I had no recruits. And so, but seeing myself as that, I made me believe that I can do this. Like, I'd already invested in the fact that I was gonna do this. And so changing my mindset and how I see myself was huge for me. I can't recruit anybody. I don't have any recruits. I don't know how to lead them. I mean, goodness, I just joined for the discount. Like, so what if I'm making a couple $100 now? I mean, I'm no Sarah Duke, I'm no Jordan Johnson, I'm no Katie Allen, I'm no Laura Schagel, I'm no Tabitha Roach. I can't do this. I've only been a book lady like 3 days. So I also think changing the way that you build a team can be hugely impactful for your business. When I started thinking of recruits as people that I needed to get me places, that I was desperate for these people because I wanted HOC2 or I wanted to promote to leadership, that I needed people, I wasn't getting recruits because it was about me. When I shifted my mindset that I'm just sharing an opportunity. I love being a book lady. I love what it's given to our family. When I kind of shifted this mindset, I think I was 4 months into my business. So I didn't have a tiara. I didn't have these mega huge paychecks that a lot of people in this business have. And so I didn't feel like I had this huge story that I could be like, well, join the Usborne Books and More because you can make $4,000 a month. I didn't have that story. And so what I did have was a passion for the business, a passion for our mission, and I had lots of free books that I'd earned. I did have a paycheck. I had things that being a book lady had provided for our family. And so that is what I took and changed the way that I presented myself as a book lady in recruiting. I was no longer desperate for recruits because all I was doing was sharing my story. This is something I love. I think you could love it too. Here's what it did for my family. Could it do this for your family? And so listening to needs of people and just sharing my story, I became comfortable with what I loved about being a book lady, why I was doing it, why it might be beneficial to other people. That mindset, y'all, it shifted and changed my business. I started getting recruits. I get multiple recruits a month, and I think that's it. It's because I view myself in a completely different way. I don't need people to join our team. I don't need recruits. I think they might need the business. I think that they might need to hear about this, but I don't want to force them. And so changing the way that you see recruiting is going to explode your growth because it's about them, not you. Mindset mishap. Okay, well this month I made it like a goal, and it's kind of scary, but I mean, I'm just gonna see if it happens. Like, you know, I wanna be upper level leader, but I'm like, I made that goal, but let's just like see what happens. We're gonna just like, I'll kind of work on it, and if it doesn't happen, you know, I mean, that's a goal, but let's just see what happens. Okay, the last thing for today for your mindset is about those goals. I know we all have big goals, little goals, goals of all different levels. When you shift your mindset of going after those goals, goals happen. So personally for me, I wanted to earn the trip, the summer trip. And so that was a goal. I put it on a dream board. I have a little like sheet that's right in front of my computer on my desk that every single day I go through and I look at those goals. Some of them are really big. Some of them are personal goals. Some of them are like lead like a servant today. Some of them are things that I can easily check off because, you know, it feels really good to be like, oh, I accomplished that goal today. So yes, I put things on my list just so that I can feel good about myself, right? It's okay. But I also have really big, scary goals. And when I go after those, like earning the trip, like I wanted to get 10 recruits one month. When you have those goals, they need to be the lens with which you see everything for that month. I had some girls in our upline who poured incredible wisdom into me, saying that you can't do everything every single month. And like that was so freeing for me, you guys, to know that like as a senior executive team leader, like I cannot do everything with excellence every single month, all the time. I cannot be on top of it and do laundry and have kids and do drop off and lunch and all of this stuff. Ain't gonna happen. So when I set my goal, I think through my month and I think, okay, is this month gonna be a month that I focus on our team? Is this gonna be a month that I focus on, you know, personal business? And of course, there are things that we have to do as leaders throughout. You know, you have to have personal parties and you have to have some posts going up on your team page. But where is it really that you're focusing and how does that affect your goal? So in the month that I wanted 10 recruits, that was the lens that I saw everything through. When I had a conversation, recruiting was on the top of my brain. When I had a party, it was how can I get this hostess to join? How can I look for people with red flags in this party? And so it's kind of adjusting your lens for whatever your goal is. Because when you make a goal, make some strategies for it, and hone in on every single thing about that month fitting into your main goal, it will happen. I remember at convention a year or two ago, Heather Cobb talked a lot about your anchor tasks, and she talked about having something every day that anchored you. And so I love that idea that my goal, my big goal is my anchor. And so I have all these other tasks, but how do they fit underneath that one thing that I'm hoping to accomplish that month? Or that 2 things or 3 things. You can have a couple of big goals every single month. And then overall, how do those monthly goals, how do those kind of milestones, how do those help you get your big goal? Whether it's an upper level promotion or a big trip or a sales number that you want to meet. How can all of those little goals apply and support your big goal? So changing your mindset of a lens, putting on a lens of your goal that everything fits underneath that goal, you will see your goals start happening when you approach them with confidence, knowing they're gonna happen because you have a plan, and knowing that they're also gonna happen because you are looking to make them happen. Mindset. It is all about your mindset, how you view yourself, your business, and your goals. So change your mindset and drastically change your business.